Dre Greenlaw, addicted to running around the field after interceptions. That was a man possessed all night long for the San Francisco 49ers. But his 2 interceptions were unhinged. Like, his cutbacks, it looked like a kid when you were playing Tecmo football and you had Bo Jackson or Randall Cunningham and you just ran back and forth, and then just waited for that seam and went. You got the defense totally out leveraged, except for Green Bay didn't do that. They were just like, where are you going, dude? We're just going to slowly pinch down on you. I was loving Dre Greenlaw just trying everything he possibly could to get like 5 extra yards. 5 extra yards. It's like, dude, have you not seen your team's injury history in the playoffs? Like, just go down.
Go down.
Just go down. Stop. But San Francisco survives the Green Bay Packers with a 24-21 win in the divisional round of the playoffs. And this is our 4th and final game that we're talking about. Hey, life comes at you fast, guys. It comes at you real fast.
Yeah. Only 3 NFL games left on the season.
We got and I asked my 7-year-old son this. I said, you know how many more games are left in football? He looked at me just dead-eyed and goes, 3. Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Man, he was on it.
just did the math, like, because I love this. He sets up all the helmet matchups. We got the little mini helmets.
Oh, okay.
And so he sets up the helmet matchups, and then when a team gets eliminated, it's like, I don't know. It's like Survivor when they put the torch out, except for he just comes up and just swipes the helmet. He's like, dead. Done. So I think he was doing like, I got the conference championships, then I got the Super Bowl. That's all I got left here.
Man.
Yeah. You know, he's the only person excited for the Pro Bowl. He's really excited to see what flag football and what the skills challenge has in store for us. I was like, yeah, it's one of us, but we'll be there. We only got 3 left, and the San Francisco 49ers surviving the Green Bay Packers, that's the way you got to put it, because it was not pretty for San Francisco by any metric. We talked on Friday about, Green Bay's got to hope that Jordan Love doesn't turn into a pumpkin, and I don't think he did. I don't think he did. That was a horrific final interception.
Yes.
But I think that with the conditions the way that they were, and it's not just rain, because rain isn't the issue unless you're Brock Purdy, and apparently you have tiny hands. But the conditions were the field. At that point, like when Kyle Shanahan, it's just a weird thing that they were like, Kyle Shanahan demanded everybody on the defense change their cleats. We really going through this? Levi Stadium now has been open for like 15 years, and the field is still an issue there?
Right.
And guys were just slipping all over the place. That was not, I thought Jordan Love, for as bad as that last interception was, he played a good enough game, right? He was far and away probably, in my opinion, he was number 8 in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Well, when we went into this weekend, you're sitting there and you're looking at it and going, yeah, I'll take the top 3, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, not in that order. I had Lamar at number 2. And then you're going down the list and you're going, Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl. Yeah. Brock Purdy is more than a game manager. He's a game controller. Baker Mayfield and CJ Stroud has been a rookie phenom and has played out of his mind. Mm-hmm. And then we saw Baker Mayfield go for 350 yards against the porous Lions defense. But he was number 8. And for me, heading into this, so my expectations weren't that he is going to be the guy who leads you down the field to win the game. I thought he was good enough for Green Bay to win the game when you look at the chances and the opportunities that they did have. I mean, hell, you're sitting there and you're looking at that game. They had a 5-point lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's good. You're asking Jordan Love for anything but they were at 21-14. So they had 7-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. You're asking Jordan Love to do anything more than that, you're fooling yourself. I think the bigger issue that we saw was, one, Brock Purdy's getting hammered for having small hands. I really don't care about it. It mattered in that game. They were still able to win the football game. The fact of the matter that was way more concerning to me was it was 2 parts. On Friday, I said that Green Bay has got to alleviate all the pressure off of Jordan Love by being able to run the ball. And Aaron Jones on the season averaged 5.5 yards a carry running outside the tackles. And where the San Francisco 49ers were at their weakest defensively was running outside the tackles. Aaron Jones gashed them. He absolutely gashed them on the edges in that game. And that is still of a concern for me as I'm looking at this San Francisco team that's going up against a Lions team that where are they going to try to beat you? They're going to try to beat you with speed. They got David Montgomery and they've got Jahmyr Gibbs who are going to try to get to the outside and kill you with their speed. And that is what we saw the Green Bay Packers do when, by the way, Aaron Jones, really damn good running back, but they got to the outside and they got to the edge at will, and Jones had a hell of a game. Took a lot of that pressure off. That's concerning for me for the San Francisco 49ers is their ability to stop the run at this point in the season. Chase Young was largely a non-factor in the game. The other big one for me is how game plan dependent they are on Deebo Samuel. Mm-hmm. I said this as we were talking MVP in the later stages of the regular season. Look at what that offense did without Deebo Samuel in it. And everybody's like, well, Trent Williams was hurt too. Trent Williams played for one of those games. Mm-hmm. And their 2 losses. Without Deebo, their offense is a shell of itself.
Yeah.
And when Deebo went down with that shoulder injury, which they are saying is similar to the one that he suffered in that Cleveland Browns game where he and Trent Williams both got hurt.
They're saying as about 30 minutes ago, Shanahan says he didn't break his shoulder, but still hurting too much for us to have an idea how it's going to heal up this week.
That is huge because you look at it in just the immediate play after Deebo goes out. They put Juwan Jennings in. They hand him the ball in the backfield, and Shanahan said, no, that's a read, and the defense dictated Purdy hand the ball off to Juwan Jennings. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that you're having Juwan Jennings try to do things that Deebo Samuel does. Deebo is a one of one.
Yeah.
He is different than any other receiver in the NFL. He is true because a guy is a battering ram when he gets the ball in his hands. There are a lot of guys who are fast, who are quick, who will get the ball handed off to them. Tyreek Hill and Deebo Samuel are not the same type of player, even though their teams will both try to push them down the field. They will hand the ball off to them in the backfield. They will motion them all over the place and try to create leverage. You do it for different reasons. Deebo is truly unique. Even in a system that has a Christian McCaffrey in it, he is truly unique with his skill set and the way he carries himself and the way he carries the ball. That was, and to see how the 2 games without Deebo turned on their head for San Francisco earlier, that's a big concern heading into this one.
Yeah.
Because you have to change philosophically what you have been doing all season long in the conference championship game if you do not have Deebo Samuel. And if you have him, it's going to be a limited version of him, which that takes away a lot of what Deebo makes him special.
Right.
Is the danger that defenses have to account for when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to just run by you. He'll run through you and over you. And that ain't going to be a factor if the dude's shoulder is all jacked up.
Well, and if he does come back and play and he's maybe not fully healthy, how much value does he have out there as a decoy, though, too?
And I don't think it's going to be that much. But then again, you're playing the Lions, and that secondary is not very good.
Uh-huh.
Like they're not very good. And you can lean back on it if you're San Francisco. All right, we got a week to prepare. We got a week to plan. We will not be as Deebo dependent in our game plan. But you still have Brandon Ayuk. You have George Kittle. You've got Christian McCaffrey. You're going to be all right. You're going to be okay.
You do have some other pretty good weapons.
But you're asking now Brock Purdy becomes that much more valuable to you in what you're trying to do. And that is after seeing Purdy in the muck and the mess. I don't know what the weather's going to be like on Sunday in San Francisco, but I'm assuming it probably won't be the downpour that we saw. But you're going to have to be far more buttoned up offensively, and you're going to have to ask Brock Purdy to do more because Detroit is going to be better against the run. They're going to sell out against the run, and they're going to ask Brock Purdy to beat you. And now Brock Purdy's got to be able to beat you against a bad secondary.
Looks like early on anyway, some at least sunny skies and 69.
Hey, it's a nice little day.
So that bodes well for Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
His tiny little hands.
Yeah, I ain't going to go into. There's a lot of complaining from Green Bay fans about the way that one ended. I got some questions. Have you seen the Anders? What's his name? Anders Carlson, the kicker.
No.
For Green Bay, so he missed the field goal that it wouldn't even have taken a lead, but that fourth quarter field goal with 6 minutes to go, 41-yarder, missed it wide left, and this is getting a lot more play because that would have made it 24-17 Green Bay. It's getting a lot more play because Tom Rinaldi said something that I have never heard. I've never heard on a broadcast, but when he popped on and he said, Matt LaFleur says that he prays every time they put Carlson out on the field, I was like, yikes. That was the fifth game in a row that Carlson had missed a field goal attempt. 5 in a row.
That's rough.
Okay. So not the highest of confidence you have in that kicker. And that's not the reason why they lost. They were still leading that game 21-17. But this led the internet sleuths to go down and say, okay, who is Anders Carlson? It's a guy they drafted. They drafted him out of Auburn. At Auburn, he had a career field goal percentage of 71.8%. Oh. And that was bolstered by his best season was in 2020, where he connected on 91% of his field goal attempts. Do we remember what 2020 was?
COVID.
That would be the COVID year where nobody's in the stadium.
Yeah.
Or very limited capacities, even in the SEC.
Yikes.
Outside of that, his freshman year, he was 60%. Sophomore year, 72%. His junior year was the COVID year where he went 91%. Going 20 of 22. Then his senior season, he went 14 of 21. That's 66%. And then he tore his ACL and ended up coming back in his 2022, the super senior year, 70%. They drafted him. That seems like you're putting your eggs in a basket that you knew kind of what you were getting into before you drafted him there. That's where my concern would be about Green Bay.
Yeah, no kidding.
I saw that stat kind of pop up and I was like, somebody screenshotted his career field goal percentage. I was like, that can't be right. And so I went and I looked it up and sure enough, the COVID year, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But that was the COVID year.
Well, okay, so who is the backup quarterback that basically in college had as many interceptions as touch? Who was it? Was it Boyle? Thad Boyle? Who played like at Western Kentucky and somewhere else, or at UConn?
Okay.
Oh, crap. I forget who it was, but yeah, basically.
I don't think Tad Boyle is the basketball coach.
I'm trying to think.
Tim Boyle?
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, same kind of thing. Basically throughout his college career, as many interceptions or more than touchdowns. And yeah,
you kind of know what you're getting.
It's like, how is he in the NFL? You
kind of know what you're getting when you get into that one. And that was a brutal miss. But again, just as you look at Tyler Bass, where Bass's was more impactful because that one ties you the game for the Buffalo Bills, right? Mm-hmm. Green Bay is even in a tougher spot where it's like, you want to blame your kicker. Don't blame your kicker because you were winning 21-17 and then you gave up a touchdown after that you end up losing the game.
Yeah.
You know, that is one where you go, a little bit more dicey. I got my questions about the 49ers, and we got questions about every single, there are really, with the exception of the Baltimore Ravens, you have legitimate questions about each of the other three teams in the conference championship week.